Hey, I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. In this video, we're going to show you how to install the Tusk Zipperless Upper Doors on your Polaris RZR. Upper doors are a great accessory for your side-by-side. They're going to keep the cabin closed, and that's especially nice in cooler conditions. Now, if things heat up throughout the day, you're going to be able to roll these back and get them out of the way and get some airflow into the cab. Now, the main feature of these are that magnetic strip system, and that way you're not going to have to be dealing with zippers getting stuck. So that's a really nice feature. These are really simple to install, and we're going to show you how to do it on a 2020 Polaris RZR XP Turbo, but the process will be similar for any Polaris RZR. Now, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and walk you through the install process. As far as parts go, we have the Tusk Zipperless Upper Doors. Now, the kits come with the fabric doors. We also have the fillers, the hardware packs, and the instructions. You want to read through these instructions and refer to them throughout the process. To do this job, we're using safety glasses, rags, a drill bit kit with our drill. We're using the 11/64 inch drill bit. Then we have contact cleaner, waterproof grease, a 9 and 10 millimeter combo wrench. We have a 10 millimeter socket, number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a crescent wrench, needle nose vice grips, an auto centering punch, and a 5 millimeter T Allen. Now, if you guys are running these upper doors, then chances are you probably have a windshield and a roof as well. You're going to need to remove those accessories to get these installed. So we've gone ahead and done that, and we're going to start with this left hand or driver's side. All right, first thing we need to do is mount this lower left hand filler. So we're going to need a clamp right by this bolt here and right up there. Now, with both of these clamps on both sides of the machine, we're going to have these foam strips that we're going to insert to the inside of the clamp. And this is just going to help keep those clamps from moving once they're installed. And then this flat portion, we're going to have that face towards the front of the machine. You can see this other side with the 90-degree bend. It's going to be face towards the back. Now we'll do the same steps for that upper clamp. Then we're going to loosely install these hex head bolts with the nylock nut on the back. And leaving those bolts loose is just going to allow us to move this filler wherever we need it and make adjustments. So we're going to put it about right there for now. Now we're going to hold the filler into place, and we're going to install a clamp next to each mounting hole. Now, the most important part about these clamps is this front one for that upper filler. So this piece right here, we're going to bend this up till it's about a 30-degree angle. And we're just going in most of the way down on the silver portion of it. Once you have that bent, you can go ahead and set this into place. And we're also going to make sure the hardware is loose on this visor, and that way we can get the P-clamp into place. And then we can go ahead and install the rest of those clamps. So to get the last one in place, obviously this rear window is loosened up. So I'm just going to stick this flat edge of the clamp down, and I'm just going to wrap it around. Make sure you don't catch on any accessory wires. And then we're loosely going to install those 4 mounting bolts and the 4 nuts onto that filler. Now this last one was kind of fighting me, so I just used some needle nose vice grips to help hold everything in place. If you are using these needle nose pliers to hold the clamp together, make sure you have a rag between the painted surface and the top of the needle nose pliers. So at this point we can adjust this top filler to the best fitment, and then we're going to tighten down those 4 bolts. With the upper filler tightened down, we're ready to install the door skin to it using the 5 magnets. So we'll go ahead and clip that into place. Now towards the back of the upper door, we have several Velcro straps. Now these longer ones, the one closest to the cab, we're going to set inside. And then we're going to feed one of these back behind the rear window, in between that window and the roll cage. We'll show you why we're doing that in a later step. You're also going to have the same thing towards the bottom right here. And then the rest of these smaller straps, we're just going to put around the roll cage and tighten them down. Now for the strap that's going to end up in front of this air intake, we're going to raise this up and make sure we have a good connection to the other strap, and then we can slide it down. And we have one more connection at the bottom. All right, the next thing we need to do is line up these magnets with our front filler. So they're probably not going to line up perfectly. On the other side of these rivets are the magnets, and this square stitching area, that's where our magnet's going to be. So you can see they're kind of offset. So we want to adjust this filler to get the best possible fit with these magnets. So on this one, we're going to have to raise it up. So we'll line that back up. Probably need to go just a little bit more. You know, and you can rotate this outward or inward to get the best fitment. So I'm going to try lining that up one more time. So once you have the filler where you want it, you can go ahead and tighten the 2 bolts down on the clamps. Once you have that front filler tightened down, just double check and make sure everything still fits good. Once you've done that, you can remove the backing from these Velcro straps, and you're going to attach them to the front filler and this one to the upper filler right there. And we can go ahead and put this into place. Now make sure that these Velcro straps, that you get this upper Velcro part all the way onto the filler. So I'm going to kind of tuck that in and then just roll it up. You can come around from the other side and press on all those Velcro straps. All right, the next step is to install the snaps on the lower portion of this upper door. So we have two different styles. One just takes a 3M adhesive. Now, a couple things I want to mention about these snaps is they're made to use with either the stock doors or the Tusk barricade doors. And with these, if you're just going to use these for the winter and just want a quick solution to install them, then this 3M solution is fine. But if you want a more permanent solution, that's where these threaded snaps come into play. We're also cleaning off the door with some contact cleaner before we stick the snap into place. And all you're going to do is start in the middle. Put this into place. You can remove the adhesive backing. And then with the door just in a relaxed position at room temperature, you want to stick this into place. You don't really want to pull down on this because that's going to pull the magnet down. So we're just going to set that on there. And then you can repeat the process on the remaining snaps. But for us, we're actually going to use this threaded type snap, and we're going to drill holes through this door and then install the nut onto the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the sticky one. All right, since we're using the permanent type rivets, we need to mark all of the drilling locations. So I'm going to be careful not to get any grease on the fabric, but just on the end of these snaps, I'm going to put a little bit of grease and then press down all the way across, and that's going to mark where we need to drill our holes. All right, now we're going to roll these up. I'm going to wipe off these snaps so we don't get grease everywhere. And we can tuck the rest of that upper door out of the way for now. And then you can see, these left a pretty decent ring, and we're going to center punch each of these rings. Now to drill this out, we're going to use a drill bit that is slightly larger than the threads of our snap. So for us, we're using an 11/64 inch drill bit. And just make sure when you're drilling through, you don't want anything on the other side that could be damaged. Now you'll notice this one, we have that hinge behind there, but there should be enough room to get that nut on the other side. Now for the snap towards the back of the door, I've gone ahead and removed it. And again, this nut's gonna be behind the hinge. So we're gonna have to use some tricks to get it in there. I've greased this nut heavily so it stays on my wrench. And I'm using the open end. So once I have this snap screwed in, then I can remove the wrench still. And this is just a number 2 Phillips screwdriver we're using to do that. So I'll slide this into place and I'll line up the hole on the nut with the drill with the hole we just drilled, and then start threading the snap into place. And once you have the screwdriver pretty tight, you can turn your wrench just a little bit to get the final torque on there, and then you should be able to just slide it out. Now we can go ahead and tighten up the rest of these nuts, and we're just using a 9mm wrench. All right, now this is the scary part. You gotta hope that you drilled all of your holes in the correct location. So we're gonna start at the back and connect each snap one at a time. So far, so good. Luckily for us, they all lined up. So there's one more thing we have to do. Now we have a magnet at the front of this, and right where this sits against our dash, we're gonna use a 3M double stick adhesive, and we're gonna hook a magnet right there where the magnet sits. So I'm gonna take a little contact cleaner on a rag. We're just gonna clean that area, make sure there's no grease. After that, we're gonna take the magnet from its case, put it on the inside right there, and then I'm gonna clean this magnet off as well. Then we'll take the 3M, we're gonna stick it to the magnet. Try not to get your fingers on the sticky part. Then we can remove this backing, and we can stick this down into place. All right, now that the upper door is installed, if you want to get in the machine, you're just going to pull down on this, and that way we can open the door, get in, or if it warms up throughout the day and you want to roll this back, you're just going to undo your snaps. I'm actually going to have these magnets hold the door up. We'll undo these snaps, and then we're just going to start at the front and roll this window back. Okay, once you're about right here, you just want to undo this strap around that lower bar right there. And we're going to swing this around to the back side. We're going to tuck all this up back behind the roll cage and rear window. And we can take the two Velcro straps and fasten it down. Once you have the driver's side installed, you'll go ahead and do the same steps for the passenger side and then reinstall any accessories you removed from your machine. So for us, that's going to be our windshield and our roof. And that's it for the Tusk Zipperless Upper Door install. If you need these doors, they're available on our website, so be sure to go check that out. We offer free shipping on orders over $75. And if you want to see more helpful content like this, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.